Welcome. We've been looking at some really moving stories, personal thoughts people shared about, about leaving the place they grew up.
Yeah, what that means for them, what stays with you, and, what that word home really feels like after you've left.
It's such a complex idea, isn't it? Not just an address on a map.
Definitely not. It's feelings, memories, who you are, really.
So today we're kind of exploring that emotional side of things. What gives us that feeling of belonging?
Yeah, exactly. Diving into those connections people have to places, yes, but also sounds, tastes, people, most of all.
It's so human, and these stories we looked at, they paint such a vivid picture.
They really do.
Like, one person mentioned the specific sound of a garage door opening. That meant someone was home, safe.
hmm Or the smell of a certain city, maybe in autumn, mixed with coffee from a favorite spot.
Or even like someone else said, the taste of really cheap, really good street tacos you just can't get anywhere else.
Those sensory details, they just hit you, don't they? Straight to the memory.
Yeah, bypasses all the thinking.
Yeah.
So, as we start talking, maybe just take a second, if you're listening, and think. What's one specific sound or smell or taste that just instantly takes you back somewhere you feel? Well, home. Keep that feeling in mind as we explore what others miss.
Oh,
So where do we start? Maybe with the tangible things, the stuff people can actually point to.
sounds good. And, well, food seems like the obvious starting point. It came up so much.
Didn't it just? It's clearly a massive thing for people.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about, needing to eat. It's culture, it's identity, it's memory,
Connection.
all of it. There was that Reddit thread, people talking about missing not just the taste, but the quality, the price, the availability, like Mexican food or specific Brazilian juices.
Oh, yeah. The person missing proper Mexican food, saying it costs a fortune for tacos in the UK compared to back home.
Right. Or just missing that street food culture, grabbing something quick and cheap. It's a whole different way of life sometimes.
And it's personal, too. Like, one source mentioned missing mom's kitchen, that feeling that nobody cooks quite like she does.
Exactly. That's not just about the recipe, is it? It's about love, care, history, years of shared meals. Food links us right back to family.
Absolutely. And then there are the actual places, the physical spaces.
That Ukrainian source, talk about missing Lviv,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just missing a city, it was the architecture, that specific mix of history and culture.
Yeah, the cozy cafes, specific squares, places where things happened.
Places hold our stories, don't they? They're like containers for memories,
Yeah.
even missing your old room. It's not the furniture you miss.
No.
It's the light, the sounds from outside, the way it smelled. It felt like yours.
Totally. And even specific types of places, like the person missing the markets in Argentina. Not just any market.
Right, the vergilerias, the little specialty shops.
And crucially, the way you chat with the people working there, the interaction.
Yeah, the place and the people in it, that social fabric.
Which brings us back to those sensory details. They're so powerful.
Beyond food smells, yeah, like
Well.
missing the scent of certain flowers in autumn, signaling the start of school. It's incredibly specific.
But that piece, the one about the sounds of my childhood. Wow.
That's amazing.
It wasn't just like nice background noise. It was the drone of the garage door, meaning dad was home. The sound of Hungarian and English mixing together in conversations, the market buzz, her father humming specific tunes while he worked, even the scratch of pens writing letters.
It's like every home has its own soundtrack, doesn't it? And those sounds, they're not just noise, they're cues. They mean safety, routine, loved ones nearby.
Yeah, like that humming. For him, it's history, maybe prayer, but for the child, it's just comfort, this constant, reliable sound.
It's grounding. And that relates to missing the daily life stuff, too, the routines.
Right, the rhythm of things. People mention missing the human warmth or less formal interactions or just the general social life they had.
Or sometimes simpler things, like someone mentioned missing just living with parents, maybe not having all the adult responsibilities yet.
Or just missing having your own space, time alone, which can be harder to find when you move. These little everyday things really add up.
And holidays, of course. Those times are often the hardest, aren't they? When you're supposed to be with family and you're far away, the absence feels sharper then.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, we've talked about the tangible stuff, food, places, sounds, smells, routines, but that's just scratching the surface, isn't it?
It really is. The real core is deeper. It's psychological, emotional.
So let's get into that, the why behind the missing.
Well, one source put it really well. Home is fundamentally tied to feeling safe, secure, comfortable.
That makes sense. Those feelings get baked in early on, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's much more than just walls and a roof. It's that internal feeling of safety, of belonging.
Which probably explains why the thing people seem to miss most universally isn't a thing at all, it's the people.
Absolutely. Friends, family, siblings, pets even. It's in practically every story we looked at.
And like the Ukrainian source said, technology helps, you can video call. But it's not the same as just being there.
No. Sharing physical space, having coffee together, that unspoken connection.
There was that line. The digital world lets us know about each other, but maybe not feel each other in the same way. That presence is missing.
That's a great way to put it. And this absence, this longing, leads to homesickness.
Which isn't simple sadness, is it? The Polish study we saw dug into this.
Right. It's often tangled up with the struggle of settling in, feeling like an outsider, feeling unfamiliar, maybe like you don't quite belong yet in the new place.
Like those examples, feeling like you're always a guest, or that you can't really change things around you, or missing just being understood without explaining yourself.
Yeah. And the study also mentioned how we remember the past. Sometimes it's nostalgia for the real place, good and bad. Other times, maybe it's a longing for an idealized version, something simpler, safer than reality.
And why you left probably plays a big role in that.
For sure. If you were forced out or left suddenly, that colors the memories differently.
Which leads to this idea of trying to stay connected, even from far away, maintaining that link.
Right, this transnationalism idea. It's partly practical, keeping up with news, checking on family, but it's also deeply emotional. It's about identity.
Keeping that part of yourself alive.
Yeah. And the study found that people feeling more homesick were actually more likely to seek out news from home, maybe as a way to cope, to bridge that distance somehow.
So it's a way to feel less cut off. It makes sense, but it also highlights that feeling of being kind of in between, maybe.
Exactly. Like having roots in one place but trying to build a life, a future in another.
Yeah.
It's navigating two worlds, holding on to both somehow.
And where home is.
Yeah.
Well, that becomes a really complicated, maybe shifting question over time. It's tied up in who you feel you are.
It really is.
Yeah.
And for some people, especially those who maybe didn't choose to leave or left under difficult circumstances, the sense of loss can be incredibly deep, more than just missing things.
Like an existential loss.
Yeah. One source described it so powerfully, like having your life stolen in pieces, missing huge family events, losing the chance to live out your dreams in your own country.
Being forced to start over, maybe facing new hardships like prejudice or unstable work.
It's a profound loss, a loss of a potential future, a sense of peace.
That story about the father wanting to be buried back in Iran, even after years away, that really hits home, doesn't it?
It shows how deep that connection can run. Even if you build a good life elsewhere, that original place where your story started, it can remain fundamental right to the end.
Wow. That's a lot to think about, the weight of that loss. But importantly, the stories also talk about finding ways forward, about resilience.
Oh, absolutely. People find ways to cope, to build a new sense of belonging. Sometimes the initial excitement of a new place helps buffer the homesickness, at least for a while.
Right, you're just busy trying to figure everything out.
And people actively look for or create pockets of familiarity, finding churches, community groups, networks from back home.
Like finding those specific restaurants or shops that feel a bit like home, little anchors.
Exactly. Creating those spaces where you feel understood, where things feel a bit more familiar. And it's also about building a new home, but bringing pieces of the old one into it.
Carrying forward traditions, cultural practices.
Making the familiar foods, celebrating holidays your way, even if it's different. It's about weaving the past into the present.
And there's real strength in that. Like one source mentioned, choosing to live, finding peace, celebrating small wins. That determination to build a meaningful life.
That resilience is so clear. It's not about forgetting where you came from, but integrating it into who you are now, in this new place. Hope is central.
That story about the piano lessons, that was such a lovely example.
Wasn't it? Starting as a chore, something maybe resisted.
Yeah, but then years later, playing that same piece transports the person right back. It connects them to family, to discovery, but in the present.
It shows how things we carry with us, skills, traditions, memories, can create new meaning, new connections, bridging the past and future beautifully.
So really, when we look at all this, home isn't just one thing, is it? It's this incredibly rich, layered mix.
Absolutely. It's people, memories, senses, culture, identity, all woven together. and it changes over time.
And it seems like it's okay, maybe even necessary, to feel that pull towards what you miss, even while you're building something new. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
Not at all. That longing is real. But so is our ability to adapt, to
Yeah.
be resilient, to create new kinds of belonging, new ways to feel at home.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Given how much home is tied to these senses, memories, connections, how could you maybe intentionally bring a little bit of that feeling into your life right now,
Mm.
wherever you are? What small ritual, maybe a familiar sound or smell or reaching out to someone, what could help you feel just a little bit more at home today?